like to do the honors?
Sure. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Purple Friends. I'm your co-host, Joe.
I'm your Joe host, Co.
I was wondering what you would do there.
I got a good joke. I'll stick with it.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to the end of season 1 of Purple Friends.
We made it.
Yeah. Can you believe it?
No.
A journey that we started technically like November of last year, but in earnest, Jan 1 of this year.
Yeah, I'm really proud of us because we have talked about doing something like this for years. Not necessarily like a mental health podcast, but like something.
Yes.
And I just love that Vibe is that platform that we can use to scratch that itch.
Yeah.
To get creative, to talk about things, to learn more. I don't know. That's been really fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think we're going to kind of celebrate a little bit. Let's talk about what we have planned today. We're not going to do like a typical episode. We're going to do kind of a fun end of season wrap up, behind the scenes kind of fun episode.
Yeah, welcome to the rap party, everybody.
The rap party.
Yeah, this is the rap party and highlight reel where we just get to reminisce. And enjoy the fruits of our labor.
Yeah, but before that, we got to do Little Gratefuls.
Little grateful.
Do you have one? Because I have one.
I mean, I think, I have one.
We all have one.
We all have one. I think it's the same one.
No, there's no way, because mine's different.
Oh.
Mine is something that you do not do.
Okay, then. I'm just really grateful that our daughter is potty trained.
Yay!
Yes.
That wasn't going to be mine. I was going to let you have that.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you.
I'm also so grateful for Amari.
Today was
such a good, successful day.
Yeah, it's so awesome to see your kid get something, and they are so proud of themselves, and we're so proud of everyone.
Yeah.
I'm proud of everyone involved.
Yeah, exactly. Potty training is
hard.
So hard on everyone.
Yes.
So it's really cool that things are kind of on the upswing. Really, really proud of our kiddo. Oh, sorry. Were you going to say more?
I was going to be like, it's messy work, but...
Yes, it is.
No, I'm just grateful.
Yeah, she's crushing it.
Mm-hmm. Crushing it.
Yeah. You're crushing it too.
You too.
Thanks. My little grateful is a little game called Balatro.
You're right. It was never going to be the same.
Yeah. I'm very late to the party on this game. I think it technically came out in 2024, but I'm loving this game. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like, well, I'm gonna try to describe it to you.
Mm-hmm. Please.
So think of poker.
I can't.
The card game.
There's nothing.
Okay, well, think of like a pair, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, full house. You know what those are?
Yes.
Okay, so those are different poker hands, and so when you're playing Balatro, basically you're given like an expanded sized hand, and you can play like any 5 cards from your hand to make some sort of poker hand. But there's this fun twist where also like your cards can get bonuses, and there's multipliers, and there's jokers and stuff that do really fun things, and also it's kind of like a roguelike game where like you start, you get as far as you can, you kind of like unlock some stuff in the meta game, but then like once your run is over, you start back at the beginning and you have to do a new run from the beginning, and you just kind of see how far you can go with different strategies.
And I'm loving that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really fun.
That seems very up your alley. You're a puzzle guy for sure.
Yeah, it's not even puzzles. It's just bonuses and fun numbers going up and stuff. It's just very gratifying. But anyway, let's get to the celebrating.
Yeah.
If we sound a little subdued, that's because
it's a nighttime podcast.
It's a night recording. Yes, for sure.
Meaning that we have our daughter upstairs sleeping.
Yeah, she's sleeping. Join us down here in this register. Hello. Welcome to Purple Friends Nights. How'd you feel about this season? Whoa. That pause is 9 months pregnant.
I just have lots of feelings around it, and I feel like all the thoughts are trying to come out at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Most of anything, like, I feel proud. I mean, I'm really happy that we finally got it done, and I love the opportunity it's given us to connect with people.
Yes, and connect with each other too.
Oh yes,
That's been fun.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I feel like it's been fun to get noticeably better at doing it every episode.
Yeah.
That has felt so. I mean, editing the first couple episodes versus editing the most recent few episodes, it's like night and day difference.
Well, I'm happy to hear that, because that is something that only you do, and I really appreciate.
Oh, for sure.
But I think even just coming up with topics or doing the research or talking about it in a way that's coherent and makes sense and organized, I think too has also felt better as we've had more practice. And so I just really appreciate all of our listeners that took a chance on us and showed up for us.
Stuck with us as we probably continue to find our footing.
Yeah. And
season 2.
Yeah, you guys were here as we tried something new, and I really appreciate that.
Yes. And we had varying degrees of success with the different things that we tried over the season. Like, for example, once we had recorded one episode, we were like, shoot, let's record 2 in one day, which resulted in one of our episodes being only 18 minutes long.
Yeah, it was a little baby episode.
Yeah, so, you live and learn.
Yeah.
You learn. That's hard.
Yeah. But you know what? I don't know. I'm just really happy.
Yeah, me too. Mm-hmm. Well, what were your favorite topics we covered? Would you like a list of them?
Sure. Run it back real quick.
Okay, so in order, we went gratitude, seasonal affective disorder, the Sunday Scaries, which was our baby episode, attachment styles, navigating narcissism, fictional clinicians, which I totally forgot about, people pleasing, IFS, community, autism, and diagnosing.
Man, okay, I really loved the autism episode.
That was really cool. We got a lot of great feedback on that.
I really loved the community episode.
Me too. I had a lot of fun with the community epised. Rat Park.
Yeah. Was that Rat Park?
Yep.
Yeah, that one I felt the most connected to too. It's a topic that I find very near and dear to my heart. Mm-hmm. And so it was really fun to talk about it and explore it a little further. And I think it kind of was the basis of our therapy and support groups.
Yeah, it absolutely was. That totally inspired us to do that. We watched that documentary. Mm-hmm. What was it?
Join or Die.
Yeah. That was really cool. Mm-hmm. I really liked our IFS episode because that was something that I was really interested in learning about, just as a layperson, and just having the opportunity to read a book for it and being able to hear you teach about it was really cool. So that was really fun. I really liked that episode.
Thanks. Yeah, that was a good episode.
I also really liked the fictional clinicians episode. I kind of forgot that we did that, and I would love to go back to that in season 2.
We have other clinicians that we want to talk about. I mean, there are a few new ones that I feel have hit our radar, and we're we can talk about them.
Oh my gosh, who are we just talking about?
Catherine O'Hara.
Oh yeah, in the new Last of Us season. Mm-hmm. I wonder if we're a few episodes behind. I have no idea if she's a
what happened
in the show.
But the little snippet, I think, gave us something to talk about. But anyway,
it was really cool. Mm-hmm. Very unique to see a post-apocalyptic therapist portrayal. I thought that was very cool that they even bothered to portray something like that.
Yes, because I've thought that. I've thought if I were to survive and my only skill is therapy, what would that look like? How can I trade that in for anything good? Would anyone even care to check on their mental health? But I did notice too something that now that we're talking about it.
Yeah.
She's only relevant in that little town. What is it
Jackson.
called? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's only because in Jackson they've established and met some of those basic hierarchical needs.
Yeah, they've got their little commune, and they've got a lot of everyone is basically taken care of.
Right. So they can focus on some of these higher hierarchy of
On,
needs.
on
things.
Maslow's pyramid.
Yeah. So like there is room for therapy there. I don't think that is true literally anywhere else in the Last of Us world.
No, but that is really cool. Like, yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that portrayed before.
Anyway.
Yeah, so we have a lot of ideas for another part 2 of that. Let's see. Oh, speaking of season 2, like what are some, I mean, do you want to tease any ideas that you want to talk about in season 2?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely coming back for season 2. I'm going to give the name of the first episode.
Yes.
We're going to talk about boundaries in the first episode. I think that's a really wonderful way to start. We really wanted to fit it into season 1. Just didn't happen, but we're going to start out season 2 with a bang.
Yeah, we had some scheduling stuff. If we ever said that like this was going to be the boundaries episode, we had to switch it just for scheduling stuff. So, we got a garage sale. This is a local podcast. You guys get it.
So we're going to be starting out with boundaries, and I'm really hoping to bring in some guests in season 2.
Yeah.
Just because like I am not... I am one voice. You know, we are one perspective. Well, 2 perspectives. And it's just always nice to learn from other people. And again, as if I'm really focusing on the, you know, just the concept of community and collaborating and getting to know other people and learning from their perspective. So
yeah, and bringing to our audience, just another expert.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we would love to do that for like get an expert about like bipolar or not. I'm sorry. Excuse me. For borderline personality disorder would be great. We're also talking about. Oh, I don't know if we've even talked about this, but I would love to do an ADHD episode. And I totally promised an autism part 2 episode. That's definitely coming. So really excited about what season 2 is going to bring. And there's not going to be any pause, by the way. Like we're going to be back with season 2
pretty quick.
Yeah.
In
2 weeks.
We're taking like 1 week off basically.
Yeah. And even then, like only because we've got these highlights and stuff. It's not going to be a week off for you guys. We've been kind of talking a little bit behind the scenes kind of stuff.
I do want to just say that it's been really cool, like I said, to interact with some of our listeners, to have some of our listeners reach out, share their thoughts, share our podcast. We really appreciate it. And it seriously means so much. Like,
yes,
I think our highest listened to episode only has like 33 listeners, but like, I'm stoked. I'm
stoked.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot more than like I'm aware of who are listening to our podcast. Yeah. So that's really cool.
And it's still enough for us to see some trends. Like we saw which episodes were performed really well. Like our autism one performed really well. Yeah. Listeners really seem to like that. It's just really that part I really enjoyed is just seeing the impact. Even though I like sometimes I feel like, what do I have to offer? You know, like what do we have to say that hasn't already been said? And I think that a lot. And then I'm like, well, no, that's kind of the point, right? Is that we do have a unique perspective. And sometimes that is worth sharing. And you better believe I have to fight those like intrusive thoughts every time we record. So that's why I'm just really appreciative for our 33 listeners, the people who are showing up and participating.
I love all 33. I give each of you a look, kiss
on the forehead. Yeah.
That was 33. Okay. Any other, speaking of like the top, you were just talking about the different topics. Should we talk about, we have like a list of topics that we maintain, topic ideas.
Yeah. Usually it's just what's relevant, what we're talking about.
Yeah. Very rarely do we need to go to the list because like one of us will just be like, I really want to do an episode about this. And then we'll just do it. And we have no shortage of ideas. I mean, if we ever don't have an idea on the spot, we have this humongous list of ideas that we made like forever ago. So yeah, I mean, we have many more seasons coming for y'all if you want to stick around and listen to us.
Yeah. So I appreciate you guys joining us for the ride.
Yeah.
And it's only just begun.
Yeah. And so thank you so much for joining us for this short little bonus rap party. And we're going to let the highlights play and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
See ya.
Bye.
I have a bunch of Hershey's Kisses in the office.
What?
And I encourage clients to eat a chocolate and notice it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just
You're
notice.
like Professor Lupin in Harry Potter. Eat this chocolate. It'll help. It'll really help. After Harry's fighting the Dementors. We watched this not even that long ago.
Bro, Harry Potter turns into mush. Into one big Harry Potter mush ball in my head.
That's fair. Okay.
I did not get introduced to it as a child, so I don't have those strong neural connections.
You don't have to defend your disinterest in Harry Potter. It's 2024. There's a lot of reasons to not F's with Harry Potter
Yeah,
anymore.
actually, yeah. You know, I like to do this activity in session with clients sometimes where I ask them, like, what are you hear right now? And they list off everything that they can hear.
That's a really good one.
That just puts you in the moment, right? Eating is another really mindful or can be a very mindful activity. Yes. You know, you can appreciate the tastes, what you're eating, how it feels going down your throat, into your stomach, the sensation of feeling full. You know, I think we don't often slow down enough to even notice the things that we get to do. I mean, like, I look at these plants. Plants don't get to eat. They just put their leaves out in the sun, and that's how they get full. But, like, we get to freaking eat. I mean, think about some of the awesome foods we get to eat. I mean, ice cream. We've had a ton of ice cream this week.
And cake and pizza.
Yeah, like,
think about how. Okay, hold on. Think about how good pizza is for real.
Like the heat.
Eat your first bite of pizza. If you black out during your first bite of pizza, you are cheating yourself.
Yeah. I love knitting. Mm-hmm. I'm very grateful for being jazzed about a project.
Nice.
Because it's been kind of uninspiring recently.
Wow,
so.
That was some heavy nonverbal body language I just received that I would like to translate to you listeners. There was a big old face rub. There was some glasses adjustment. It seems like it's been heavy.
Yeah, you know, knitting is such a big part of my life. So when it's not going well, or it's boring, or tedious, it sucks. You know, and especially like the past few weeks have been rough. You know, we don't have to go into it, but
just in general, you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I've just been needing an outlet, and my outlet was not outletting until now. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, it's clicked.
Yes.
That's cool.
Yes.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Getting back into a hobby after a little bit of like, I guess you would call it something like writer's block.
Yes, very much.
How did you get back into that? I know the answer to this because I watched you do that, but it's something that I love. I love this process of fighting writer's block.
Yeah, I had 3 whips, work progress.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I had 3 whips going, and they were all not sparking any joy with me. I was like kind of trudging through them, forcing myself to finish them because I said I would.
Yeah.
And I hated them all, and then I realized I don't need to freaking do any of these. Like, this is just for me, so if I want to destroy these whips, I can. And so I did. I frogged 3 projects that had been...
Frogged.
Yeah, it just means like ripping your stitches out. You know, you rip it.
Rip it. Oh, I didn't know that's why it was called that. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's cute.
So yeah, I frogged 3 projects, and that felt really good. And then I started a new kind of fun one that has no pattern, and I just kind of went for it, and I'm loving it.
That's cool. That's really like operating without a net to go without a pattern. You're freestyling basically.
Yeah.
That's cool. And what is the overall project you're starting?
It is a light blue raglan style sweater with cable increases. So
that's really cool.
I think it'll be very charming.
Yeah. So if you speak knitting
you'll
jargon,
know what that means.
Yeah. It's a very pretty blue sweater is what I can tell you. And there is some cabling going on. Not like your whole cable knit sweater, whole jib jab like mishmash.
No, I do not
it's
like
very
the
tasteful. small amount.
Yes, like the Rory Gilmore type sweaters are not my fave. With
Wow,
like,
calling them out.
was there more that you wanted to add?
No, I was just thinking maybe we could take a moment to be mindful, maybe. Just slow down and... What do you hear? What do you hear, listener?
You hear us?
I hear our refrigerator mostly.
I hear dogs licking something in the other room.
Gross. I hope listeners can't hear that.
Yeah, I hear the cars passing outside on the street.
Mm-hmm.
The garbage trucks.
Yeah. It's nice. It is nice to take a quiet moment.
You know, it is. I'm looking at you and it is. Like, literally right now, it's nice. It's so nice.
Yeah.
I might cry.
Oh, that's great. You can. This is the perfect podcast for that, honestly. But I'm going to have to ask that if you do it heaving sobs, that you do it away from the microphone.
I cry all the time.
It happens. I cry quite a lot as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried it and I like it mostly just because it's like fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have seasonal affective disorder. I don't. And I was gifted a light therapy lamp and I tried it and it was fun.
I'm sure it's nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Like I closed my eyes for a second and I thought like, oh, this can feel like the sun on my face.
Mm-hmm.
And that was nice. So
here's my thing. When you said it could feel like the sun on my face, that's my problem. Is it doesn't? It's not hot,
Yeah.
and my body is still cold. You know,
Yeah,
my fingers are still freezing, so I can't like get there in my head.
yeah, I'm still sitting on my desk.
Yeah.
Like it's not
Like even if I'm in front of a heater, like I have to be under a blanket or whatever. You know.
But anyway,
Yeah.
if you like them, if they work for you, that's great.
Yes.
It's it's been used.
Exactly. Vitamin D, good old sunlight. That's what those lamps are trying to give you, is a replacement for that vitamin D that you're getting from sunlight. I mean, I don't know how much they're really giving you. I don't think they're giving you very much. But
or you can use a supplement. You know, I
Yes.
think a lot of people, again, have also experienced like having to take that supplement, especially in the winter.
Yeah.
My doctor told me, though, that once your vitamin D levels are deficient, like they kind of stay that way. So once you start taking supplements, you kind of have to keep at it.
Well, that's interesting. We're not doctors, folks.
We are not doctors. This is just what my doctor told me. And I don't know her very well.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah, that's we're gonna have to end the research on that dubious statement. Here's a question: did your parents ever make you shovel snow?
No, I would request to do it for fun.
You would? Wow, you are. They broke the mold when they made you. You are something special.
Oh goodness.
The other thing is, like, this is going to be advice we always give, is like, you got to manage your stress.
Wait a minute. Did you do the lifestyle changes already?
No. You want to talk about?
Yes,
You
absolutely.
do them.
I was.
Sorry. I didn't mean to jump around. I was just jumping around.
Okay, you can now go to stress management.
Oh, okay. Oh, sure. Oh my gosh. I'm in charge of the stress management now. I'm going to do my best, everybody. I don't manage stress very well, but I'm going to do my best. Here's what you do if you're stressed.
Everybody listen up.
You got your notes. It's you gotta breathe.
Oh my God. The amount of times I feel like I tell people like breathe.
You gotta
like,
breathe, y'all.
We have to learn to breathe it's such a hard, like I feel like so many people have such a hard stop when someone tells them like you gotta breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, I mean I will probably answer always.
Yeah.
if a client or anything work related were to call me or contact me, it's really hard for me to not.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that, I get, and maybe again that might contribute to not having the Sunday scaries because you're just always in work mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, I do think that's a way of coping, right? Because it is hard for us to shift from like work mode to personal life, or vacation mode to home life, like these different modes in our head. We had talked about earlier, I think contribute a lot of anxiety of like having to readjust and having to, jump from there. So I think a lot of people cope by not doing that, from not readjusting, not going from work mode to personal life. They stay in work mode.
Hey, if there's anybody out there like that listening, how's your burnout going? I want to say something that I'm grateful for since I missed it at the beginning.
Oh yes, please. Let's hear your little grateful now.
I'm really grateful that is it kind of a cop out if I've said for this No, I'm not going to say for this podcast. I did that in the first episode. Forget that. You can only say the podcast once. Oh, here's something I'm grateful for. This is a great one because it's so small. Perfect for a little grateful. I just found out that they make black cherry citrus fresca, and it is so good. Not a sponsor, by the way. Fresca, get at me. Who makes you? Fresca. Don't say. I think Coca-Cola makes you. Coke, get at us. We'll sponsor us, okay. Coca-Cola. I know you got that Santa money. You got that polar bear money.
Oh, my goodness.
This is a tough one. This is rebuilding relationships, kind of.
Yeah.
Reforming them.
Yeah. You essentially do have to go against those things that, like I said, you rely on to keep you safe. And that's really scary. It's like going, I don't know, snorkeling without a life jacket. A life jacket,
If you go snorkeling without a snorkel, you're just swimming, folks.
This thing that was keeping me safe, these walls that were protecting me, are now keeping me from the things I want. They're keeping me from having a deep and emotional relationship. They're keeping me from having success and happiness in our workplace.
Yes, dude, it all comes back to trauma, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, yes, absolutely.
It's so interesting. Like, just listening to you talk, I'm just thinking of all the different things that are affected by it. Like, your past relationship affects your current relationship. Your past job affects your current job. Like, your past relationship with your boss affects your current relationship with your boss. Like, all this trauma and baggage and stuff that we carry, all this invisible shit that's on our back.
Yeah, no, we do carry it with us, and like I said, the idea here is like not wanting to get hurt, but having potentially a lot of history of being hurt, right? So not knowing how to respond. What's on your mind?
Why you see me making all kinds of faces over here?
Yes. You're very expressive.
I was just thinking, I'm sure as everyone probably is as they're listening to you describe these 4 types, like trying to figure out which one you fall into. And as you're reading through them, and they kind of are sounding, forgive me, worse and worse and worse. And each one I'm like, oh, maybe that's me. Uh-oh, no, that one sounds wrong with me. Uh-oh, that last one maybe sounds like me.
No,
is there hope for people in all of these categories?
My goodness, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
If you've ever worked with me, like I'm always going to be seeking hope in any situation. Like I'm going to be like, oh, I still have hope for you. I still have hope for the situation. Like there's like, yes, even if you consider yourself having fearful avoidant or anxious preoccupied, whatever that you are struggling with, like you could learn to find a secure attachment. I fully believe that.
That is true.
With that being said, I did want to talk a little bit about some of those red flags. So you might start to see some gaslighting. I'm gonna run through some of these and then go a little deeper on some of them.
Okay, cool. Oh no, that's all I was gonna say.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, like, baseline. Maybe we should define what gaslighting is. That's another one of those terms.
Gaslighting comes up a lot. Yeah. So, we'll just dive into the gaslighting.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
No, but yeah, gaslighting is one of it's a tool, right? It's a tool that a lot of people can use to manipulate, right? So gaslighting does come from that play, right? Where have you heard of that?
Does it come from a play? I did not.
Yeah, yeah. So
is this a Shakespeare thing?
I don't think it's Shakespeare.
Oh, okay.
But it comes from a play where essentially, like, one partner was messing with the other partner by like turning on the gas lights and,
Ah, wow, old
old
play.
play.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So like essentially like having your partner like flicker the lights on and off or like yeah, move things around and you're like, what the heck? I thought I left this right here. Or like I remember that this was like this. And so
Like
it's a
systematically making you think that you're forgetful, or maybe you question your own memory or judgment.
absolutely. And it is super effective.
You said that like a Pokemon move.
Pokemon's on the brain.
It was super effective.
But it was. I mean, like you would get like excellent across your screen.
You've not played Pokemon. Oh my god.
Clearly.
You were doing so well. Okay, let's go back to this sad subject.
Oh my gosh. Apologies, right? So like apologizing but not really being sincere about it, or apologizing about how you feel versus about your actions and being accountable for what you've done. So I'm sorry you feel that way is a very common apology.
This is only slightly related, but I feel like a lot of these traits I see sort of on display on, we'll call it like trashy reality TV.
Uh-huh.
Like 100% of the time. And, you know what it's making me think? Hey, this is weird. Are the people on reality TV narcissists?
I mean, maybe, and like
that's weird.
But like, also, it just kind of it says more about me, I think, since I love watching reality TV, and I always joke it's like drama I don't have to solve.
Yeah,
it's narcissists that I don't have to therapize. Like, but yeah, I think that's a really very astute observation.
Oh, thank you, Professor. Teacher's pet.
Yes. When I say boundaries, I mean much more internal emotional boundaries, right? Like, is this person a safe person to share something vulnerable with? Or is this person a safe person to be honest with, to share my needs with, you know?
Has this person ever used my hot goss as entertainment for my relatives?
That's a very good example. Yes, exactly. Exactly right.
Yeah. Have you ever told your aunt a secret and she told your other aunt like immediately?
Right.
And they're giggling about it.
Yeah. And like, I mean, I think about that and I think immediately like the cultural perspective, because like chisme is such a part of like, for example, Latino culture, and like sharing your kids' information is very like culturally relevant. And even though that is a red flag, again, having that cultural relevance, I think, should also play a part, right? Because like, again, I
like that on its own does not, especially like if your culture is like, it has that as a part of it. Yeah, that's kind of like less of a big point in that.
Yes, exactly. Like I said, a lot of this is learned behavior. So if your culture is like this is a learned behavior in the culture, then like that's been normalized, right? It's not necessarily pathologized.
Right.
Okay.
Well put.
Thank you. I felt really good about that word too.
Yeah,
pathology. Oh.
Oh my gosh, you know what I just thought of? Something that's totally relevant. Kathy Bates. There was this thing I saw on Instagram. I don't know how I'm going to share this with everybody, but she was on, what's the name of that show? Digging Up Your Roots, whatever it is, on PBS, where they basically, they take famous people and they do their genealogy. And they basically like, oh, you thought you were from here, you're actually from here, whatever. And they went through this thing with Kathy Bates, and the clip that they showed was like her talking about her mom, and how like when she won the Oscar, she was like so ashamed that she forgot to thank her mother, because her mother was like, it's not so good, it's whatever. So you won, whatever, what's next? And then Kathy Bates is sitting there, you know, she's like 75 years old, watching this video of her thanking her mother.
That's so interesting.
At the Oscar speech, and she's speechless. It's amazing.
So her memory was completely revised.
Yes, and if I remember correctly, the caption of the video was something like, "This is what happens when you grow up with a narcissist."
Yeah, you have that feeling of not being able to trust your own memory. it's so disorienting, and which is why it's such an effective tool in manipulation. We especially in parts talk, right? Like IFS speak, internal family systems.
Oh, yeah.
Like that sense of self is so important that if it's directly attacked, like I said, it can be very effective.
Yeah. It's foundational.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Something else to keep in mind is that like victims of gaslighting or narcissistic abuse, you might often find like defend their loved one or defend the person who is like directly impacting them. So like it might be hard to set up boundaries or to recognize that within your own self because there is this desire to protect them, right? So like in that example with Kathy Bates,
Yeah.
I'm sure that like she felt this sense of loyalty to her mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what she said? Actually, now that you bring that up, she said, it should have been her. I really like to tell people about my favorite dinosaur and my favorite shark. Therizinosaurus and whale shark.
Thank you.
But I will spare everyone from going any further on that.
Whale sharks.
Yeah. My favorite
Those are pretty
animal in
dope.
general is actually the bears, but it's just bears. The bears. It's not the football team, the bears.
Your favorite animal is the bears.
My favorite animal is 45 to 55 Chicago men.
I mean, there's a whole scene where Seth Rogen calls his girlfriend a bitch.
Yeah. Why are you making me more editing work?
you just don't worry about it. Just go beep. You know, it's no big deal.
Costs us $10,000 a second to do those. You know that?
Okay. But she basically tells Davey like how far she's come, and like I say that to my clients all the time because it is such an honor to see how far they've come, and they do so much work. They grow so much. You get to witness that as a therapist and be their cheerleader. Mm-hmm. And it's really cool when they get to that point. And Dr. Ryan, I think, did a really wonderful job.
Yeah, she nailed it.
Yeah, of doing that with Davey. But I'm really grateful that my mom's turning 60 and we're celebrating her birthday this weekend. And this is a surprise party. And we can talk about it now.
Because this episode is published after the surprise party.
Happy surprise birthday party, Mom. She's like our only listener.
No, she's not our only listener because my mom also. Yes,
but she is a very consistent listener. So thank you. I'm grateful for you listening. But I'm also very grateful that you're turning 60. I think this is just us showing you that, like, if you don't deal with that resentment, it does come out in that way, right? It does come out in, like, all that.
No one could see you do that. You did that silently.
You just give me so much for swearing.
You just did it anyway.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, great.
No, I'm just kidding. All of that was bleeped.
Where was I? Oh,
nowhere. We were nowhere. Because isn't it so much easier to just not? Wouldn't it be so much easier for everything if you didn't have to confront people and you just worked yourself into a burnout, into exhaustion just to keep the peace?
Yeah, and then exactly.
Why? If you sacrifice yourself for the greater good, wouldn't that be easier?
I can't look at you sometimes because you're like, yeah, obviously. Why do you think so many freaking people like people please? I know that's what you're getting at, right? Like anybody who's climbed a mountain knows that there's hella struggle going up.
We assume.
I've never climbed a mountain. I mean, I think about like the movie Everest and all that.
The bodies and also the real Everest with all the bodies.
Oh my God. Anyway.
Cool. So there's the clip.
Dr. Fatter, who is, just another educator in the world of psychology.
Oh, cool.
And she is a big proponent of IFS.
Oh,
and
cool. Okay.
This is just one of the new, the mnemonic devices that we can help ourselves and our clients identify what the core self is. What does it feel like? When are we operating from them? And essentially, this is a good way to remember that, right? So the 8 C's are curiosity, calm, compassion, courage, creativity, connectedness, clarity, and confidence.
Whoa. That's a lot of C's.
Yeah.
Actually.
There's 8 of them.
I can't believe none of them was Corey.
Maybe for you, it'll be 9 C's.
Yeah.
We talked about this earlier. Like, I've named mine Jerry.
Jerry, yes. People names, like a human name.
And I just think, I'm like, Jerry's so annoying. Like, he's shown up again, and
That's my dad's name.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Dear departed dad.
I'm so sorry. I feel like because I never had knew him.
Yeah.
You know, like
There's Jerry. It's different.
to me, Jerry is still like one of those names.
It's available.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. It's available. It's up for grabs.
Yeah.
So I grabbed it several years ago. Jerry's not new.
No, Jerry been here.
Yeah, Jerry been here. But yeah, I kind of it kind of helps me.
Sorry, Jerry?
Yeah.
Wow. Yep. Same.
But anyway, Jerry helps me separate my core self from that part of myself. This is like, who delivers the mailman's mail?
Yeah. Oh,
Another
that's
mailman.
a great question.
A lot of Jerry energy in this episode.
A lot of Jerry energy. You say that, you don't even know the guy.
No, but
Oh, your Jerry.
no, he was a mailman.
Oh,
Your
yeah,
J-
my
your Jerry.
My Jerry was a mailman.
Yeah.
That sounds like a Primus song. Jerry was a race car driver. There's a lot with like the father of X in psychology, where like they come up with something that's really interesting, and then like people expound on that and they expand on it, and it becomes a new really cool thing. But the guy who invented it often spirals into some really strange stuff.
Like
sort
Freud
of think
is
about Freud.
Yeah, Freud is a really good example where it's like, okay, you're onto something,
And
but then you
let him
get
talk for a
weird.
little too long, and and that happens actually extraordinarily frequently in the history of psychology, and actually, I guess in the modern history of psychology too.
Which honestly makes perfect sense, right?
Yeah.
Like if we're talking about balance, even the world of psychology needs to be balanced, right? There's a lot of like really hard hitting facts, and then there's like the weird parts of our mind. Like we've all been there.
Mhm.
We've all been there.
Yep.
But anyway, let's get into it, right? Let's talk about.
I just killed an ant on the table.
Oh, stop! No, you didn't.
It was a very small one. How weird is that?
That
There's just
you-
the one.
Oh, that you killed it, or that? Oh, it's just the one.
Just that there was just a little ant. Sorry for the digression. That's why I was not paying attention, is because I was killing an ant.
I'm surprised. Well, I'm saying I'm surprised that you killed it because normally I'm the killer in this house.
No, that's only for spiders.
Exactly.
Well.
There was a running joke where my dad would like always be talking to someone. Who does he know him?
Oh,
No,
who are you talking to? Do you know that guy?
no,
Nope.
I don't know him. And I feel like, especially in my adulthood, I've adopted a little bit of that, and it gives me a boost. You know.
Hey, you know who has a lot of friends? Your dad.
Yes, he does.
He has more friends than anyone I've ever met. And they all know each other by first and last name. It's not just acquaintances. This man has like hundreds of friends.
What he found was that like rats in isolation, when given the option between plain water and water laced with morphine, in isolation in a barren cage, are way more likely to choose the morphine laced water. But then he built Rat Park.
Ooh.
I know, right? Doesn't it sound so fun?
It does. Well, kind of. Maybe not to me, but for somebody, sure.
For the rats, it was definitely fun.
For example, for the rats. Yes. Before Wakefield, concerns about vaccines were fringe at best. His paper, published in a respectable medical journal, however briefly, lent an air of legitimacy to these fears, making them much more mainstream. His narrative tapped into existing distrust of authority and the pharmaceutical industry, creating a fertile ground for conspiracy theories to take root and spread. Despite being discredited and losing his medical license, Wakefield chose to become a martyr figure for the anti-vaccine movement, further solidifying their beliefs and resistance to scientific consensus. So this dirtbag con artist doubled down. Start celebrating the diverse beauty of the human mind and listen to autistic voices, because we're here. We have been here. We have been screaming for you to hear us, and everyone around is saying that we are silent. We're not going anywhere. The world needs us, even if they don't want us. Our focus, our hearts, and even if it seems like so much of the world fully rejects that absolute truth, it's time to build a world that doesn't just accept neurodiversity, but embraces it and integrates it. A world where difference is not just tolerated, but celebrated. This is actually going to bring us a little bit back to our conversation about love on the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit about this show. This
Yeah.
is really hot right now.
Everyone's talking about it.
Yes, it's very popular with neurotypical people. It's very popular with neurotypical people. Yeah, I got 95% on IMDb. Amazing. Inspiration porn rates really highly.
What are we talking about? Oh, well, before we get... Well, you go.
Well, I'll go. Are you talking Little Gratefuls? Or are you talking what?
I was going to introduce the topic.
We should introduce the topic first to
Okay.
tease them so that people don't just bounce when they hear us start talking about personal stuff that doesn't matter to
Yeah,
them.
true. Today we're going to be diving into diagnosing and diagnoses. Diagnoses. Yeah, I mean, some cases you might get like workplace accommodations, or like, again, people who are filing for disability or other kind of like government, what's left of them, government funded programs.
Wait,
Sorry.
Yeah, I know. We're laughing because like we're like that dog with everything's on fire. It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
I
think
talking about autism.
Yeah, autism and ADHD, I feel like, are two diagnoses that are a little extra complicated in the mental health field, because they both require additional psych testing.
Yes.
That you cannot get at like my office, for example. You
Right.
cannot get psych testing. None of us do that.
Right.
But it's hard to get in. It's hard to validate. And again, it's hard to get those resources because resources cost money.
Yep.
And all our taxpayer money is going elsewhere.
Yeah.
So it
And we don't know where anymore.
oh god. And I say this all the time. Therapy was created by white men for white men. So all of these diagnoses are kind like the baseline is white men. How it shows up in white men
Yes, and all the research that has been done about it
has been on white men.
Yes, until like extraordinarily recently.
Yes.
The
And
vast
even
majority
then,
of research.
obviously now it's being defunded.
Yes. It's gone.
Yes. So especially for me, that's such a huge part of my practice is recognizing that majority of my clients are not white men.
Right.
I do see some, but like 95% of them, I would say, are not, and so I have to essentially like eat the DSM, digest the DSM, and put out something different.
Ew, from where? Why did you have to eat it and digest it?
I'm sorry, I don't know, but like
Could be a computer or something.
essentially what I'm trying to get at is like I have to essentially translate.
Yes.
That's cut that other part out.
No way, that's the clip.
But Purple Friends is an independent podcast produced by Vibe Therapy Services and is not a substitute for a session with a therapist. Our show art is created by Jocelyn Lang, and our theme music is Nature Nurture by The Implied Bear. Vibe Therapy is an Illinois-based private practice serving clients in person at our Wheaton office and virtually throughout the state of Illinois. We accept Blue Cross Blue Shield PPO, United Healthcare, Aetna PPO, and Cigna Insurance. We also offer private pay rates as well as free 15-minute consultations. Therapy doesn't have to feel clinical. Visit vibetherapyservices.com today to see if we vibe.